Hello, art lovers! In this video, we draw the 5th part of this 6-part series, which is the ear. You can download the original image file from the Telegram channel in the description. To draw the ear, first draw the lines with a pencil, and then with a charcoal pencil, and specify the shadows. We draw the dark part behind the ear, where the hair is, using a charcoal pencil. With a hard, flat brush, I blur the shadows I created with the charcoal pencil. I use the darkness of the charcoal pencil and shade the side of the ear to specify the initial volume of the ear. Then I move on to the lines inside the ear, which have more details and need to be drawn with a mechanical pencil. Draw the shadows with a charcoal pencil, a hard flat brush, and a filbert brush. The ear shadows are very soft shadows, so when I want to draw the shadows, I use a small amount of charcoal powder to create very soft and light shadows. I also define the area around the ear. I do this with the same filbert brush and flat brush. I need to use a blender in some areas. You should have gained a lot of skill in using charcoal powder brushes, charcoal pencils, and blenders by now. If you are still having trouble using the tools, be sure to draw this design and the previous designs more than 3 times. Depending on the size of the area I am shading, I change the size of the flat brush. Of course, for smaller areas, I use smaller brushes, but the type of brush is the same. I gradually define the shadows from around the ear to the inside of the ear. There are 2 types of ear shadows. The parts where the distance between darkness and light should be shaded very softly, and the parts where the darkness and light are separated by a clear boundary that I can use a charcoal pencil for that part, and create sharp and clear lines. As you can see, I use a flat brush and a filbert brush and charcoal powder to continue the shadows and light grays. I also use a blender for the parts where I create thinner shadows. The more professional you become in using the tools, the more professional your drawings will be in the end. So work with the tools in different designs as much as you can until you completely master them. Pay attention to the parts where you use a lot of darkness. because you should not darken the parts that you want to remain light, so that you can easily use the eraser on those parts at the end of the work. I added all the dark shadows, and now it's time to add the hair. To do this, I first use a charcoal pencil to outline the shadows and direction of the hair. And in each subsequent step, I use a hard, flat brush to draw the shadows between the hair strands. And for the parts where the lines and hair strands are blurred, I use a soft, flat brush number 0. For these parts where the hair is more delicate, I draw the hair with a very sharp charcoal pencil. After adding the last shadows, I move on to using the erasers. In the first step, I use a paste eraser to outline the highlights, which are very soft. And then I create the highlights with other erasers. In this step, I use a paste eraser and a pencil eraser at the same time, so that I can draw the texture of the skin inside the ear. And then using an electric eraser, I draw very bright parts like earrings and very bright lights. I also use a charcoal pencil for the dark parts of the metal, and I also use a blender to blur those darks. I use a mechanical pencil for these edges, and then, according to the skill we have previously acquired in using erasers, we choose which light to create with which eraser. And then I draw these bright hairs with a mechanical eraser. Using erasers, like using pencils and brushes, requires a lot of skill that you can only acquire and improve with practice and repetition. Don't rush, and remember that gaining skill in this art requires a lot of time and patience. There are scattered hairs in this photo, and we need to draw them all. Make sure that the tip of the mechanical eraser is sharp. Now I soften the shadows with a hard brush number 14 and create a light gray in the background so that it can be seen when I draw the hair strands. I also use a mechanical pencil for the strands that are light gray and very thin. And again, wherever I need more darkness, I use a charcoal pencil. And at the end, I use a white charcoal pencil to draw the very light hair strands and the highlights. I hope you have drawn a good drawing. You can write your questions in the comments section so that I can answer them. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Good luck, my artist friend.